The best loan for real estate investors. Super low down payments, as little as $0 down in some situations. They give you all the money for the renovations. Ultra low interest rates, whatever the lowest market rate is. 30-year amortization, so super low payments. And it can go on rental properties or flips. And you can do single family homes or duplexes, triplexes, and quads if you're going to live in it. So yes, it can be a primary residence, can also be a vacation home loan as well. Now this is a conventional mortgage, so not everybody watching this video is going to be able to qualify, but even if you aren't loan friendly right now in your personal financial situation, I still want you to watch this video because you might be able to flip a property to someone who gets this loan. You can introduce the loan to them. And now more than ever is the perfect time in American history to be using this loan because we are at all-time inventory lows. As a percentage, we've never had as little houses for sale on the market as we do right now. And so that means that buyers that normally would have much higher expectations, they're dropping their standards and they're even buying old, dilapidated houses because there simply is nothing else available. And this loan can help them buy that. This loan can help you flip those kind of properties to them without you having to fix them up. And as you can tell, this is the kind of wisdom, this is the kind of signal, the kind of truth that you may hear nowhere else. Now this loan's been around a while, but you may never have heard of it. You may not have been introduced to it. I'm going to introduce it to you here on this video because I think it can make a huge impact in what you're doing. Light bulbs are going to go off in your head as you watch this video when you realize how many more deals you might be able to do. And so my name is Phil Pustiowski, by the way. I'm with freedommentor.com. I'm a financially free real estate investor. I don't need to do these videos, but I have a passion for teaching, and I am the mentor and coach to many of the most successful real estate investors all across North America. I'm the best-selling author of 2 books. My first book, How to Be a Real Estate Investor, you can find this as a link up here. I give it away for free, but you can also go to Amazon and get it. My second book is Real Estate Investing Gone Bad. This is more for advanced. This tells you what not to do. And this is the #1 YouTube channel on real estate investing worldwide, over 23 million views. And the reason is because what I share is so helpful in making decisions in real estate so you can be more successful and hopefully that you can reach freedom like I have and like so many of the people I've mentored have. For you fans of this channel, you may be asking yourself, Phil, you're a creative real estate investing guy. What are you doing talking about conventional mortgages? Good question. Well, first of all, the majority of people who watch my videos will never be a part of my apprentice program. And that's where we share in-depth techniques about creative investing that most people will never know. We've invented techniques that most people don't ever know. And so what ends up happening is the majority of people that watch my videos may not be able to take full advantage of all the opportunities of creative real estate investing because they simply don't have access to the information. And so, #1, this video gives more people access to a technique that can allow them to do more deals. But also, it can apply to creative investing. Not necessarily if you get the loan, but if the person you flip the house to does get the loan. And lastly, with inventories as low as they are, we need all the deals we can get. And sometimes we supplement our creative deals with some more traditional or conventional deals. All right, so what is this best loan for real estate investors? Introducing the Fannie Mae Homestyle Renovation Mortgage. This is backed by Fannie Mae because they end up buying it on the secondary mortgage market, but actually several different banks and many different mortgage brokers can originate the loan, and then of course it gets sold to Fannie Mae once it's been originated. This loan provides a tremendous amount of flexibility for real estate investors, and it's perfectly made for many of us. So let me give you some of the highlights. Now, to get more in depth on this, there's a fact sheet. There's a link right there. You can also go to my website, freedommentor.com, go to the blog tab, and you'll see this post, and there's the link for this fact sheet. But one of the main things I love about it is a renovation mortgage. So it means that they will provide the money for the renovations. Now, they do put those that money into a reserve, and then what ends up happening is it gets drawn out over time. And you can either hire contractors. In some cases, you can do the work yourself. Again, look at the fact sheet for the details on that. That's really nice. So if you have a fixer-upper, either you want to move into it and live there, or you want to buy, renovate, and then resell, or right there, you've got yourself a mortgage that, again, has these competitive interest rates. These are the same interest rates as the prevailing interest rates, which at the time in which I'm shooting this video is 4%. So you have super low interest rate, and you can do a 30-year fixed-rate loan. However, you can get the money for the renovation, which is just absolutely terrific. Unlike most hard money loans, which do give you potentially the money to fix up, but they're talking 10, 11, 12 or more percent. And now the nice thing about hard money loans is you don't have to have any sort of credit in most cases, and so you can just get a loan based on the deal itself. Whereas here, it does require you to be able to qualify for a mortgage. So more to what I love about this is the amount required down. If you're going to move into the property, it's going to be your primary residence, you may be able to get away with just 5% down, or there are even programs out there now that give you the 5%, as it's a separate organization. You have to talk to your mortgage broker about that if it's available in your local area. But that means you might have to have 0% down. And I know it's a primary residence, and you're thinking, well, Phil, I'm an investor. I don't necessarily need a primary residence loan. But think about that for a moment. Maybe you own a home right now you've owned for several years. And maybe you pay down the mortgage. Maybe it could cash flow real well if you moved out and you turn that into a rental. And maybe you could find a deal right now on the market, or even off market, hopefully, that you could buy with one of these loans that you could fix up and you could stay there. You could live in there. And one of the great things about our current tax structure, which this could change, is that every 2 years you can resell a property that you've lived in, and whatever the gains are tax-free. That has to be your primary residence for 2 years, but just think about that. Envision every 2 years buying a new home, renovating, living there for 2 years, and then reselling. Let's say you make your $40,000, $50,000, $80,000 profit or more. That's completely tax-free. So this can apply to a long-term strategy you may have. Now, after you go from primary residence, the down payment requirement does go up. If it's going to be a true blue investment property, you may have to put as much as 15% down, which is still less than the typical 20 to 30% down of most investor loans. So it's still great, but it does require a little bit of money there. But for many of you watching this video, you might be able to do that. So that's another huge highlight that I absolutely love. One other characteristic of this loan program that I really like is how flexible it is with the types of properties you could use it for. So as we've talked about, you could use it for your primary residence, not only for a single family home, but a duplex, a triplex, or a quad. Now, if you go into the world of investor loan or second home vacation loan, then it has to be a single unit. It can't be a duplex, triplex, or quad. But that's not all bad, because I have moved my entire inventory of and portfolio of investments over to vacation rentals, because the money's just so huge. And I have great videos on that, by the way, if you want to know all the reasons why I've done it that way, as well as how you can do the same thing with vacation rental investing. So all in all, the flexibility is just terrific with this thing. But like all loans, nothing's truly flexible. There are parameters, there are underwriting guidelines. So this loan, I think, is a lot better for us as investors. There is another type of loan that's also administered by the U.S. government, and that is called the FHA 203K. This loan is actually been used a lot more than this one, and this has a lot less underwriting restrictions. However, it's specific to primary residences. So this is really good for someone who is buying a home to live in, and they can't get this one. I think otherwise you always want to go this option, but if you can't get this loan, you might be able to qualify for FHA. This is a problem, though, on the other side of the coin. If we're trying to flip a property to someone and the house needs a lot of work and you don't want to be the one to fix it up, you might be able to put it on the market right now because the inventory levels are so low, and you might be able to get some interested parties. And this loan right here is going to work out pretty well for you, because Fannie Mae does not restrict you as much on how long you've been on title. We call it title seasoning. However, FHA requires you to be on title for 90 days before you resell a property. Now, my team and I have actually invented a technique to be able to overcome this problem with FHA, but it's not something I can tell you on a video like this, because it's only for my apprentices, and if I let that cat out of the bag and somebody does it wrong, you'll ruin it for the rest of us who are doing it right. Okay, so this loan here is going to have less underwriting restrictions on who can qualify as far as debt-to-income ratio and those kind of restrictions. However, it doesn't have the flexibility as this one. This one allows so much more that can be done. So between these two loans, but especially this Fannie Mae Homestyle renovation mortgage, you have the ability to do deals now, or flip deals to people that you otherwise imagine you couldn't do. And what's so nice is, with the interest rate as low as this thing is, you can get in on a property, fix it up, and then get it out there as a rental, for example, as a vacation rental, which you see I talk about a lot, and you can make a ton of money. I mean, as opposed to going for maybe $100 or $200 a month positive cash flow, I mean, you could potentially go up to $1,000 or $2,000 a month positive cash flow with some of these vacation rentals. And this could be your loan to do it. And you go buy it in an area where there's a lot of demand for people that are traveling there, and the house needs a lot of work, and you can be the one to step in there and get that work done, and somebody else is fitting the bill. And if you want to know who can help you with a loan like this, reach out to some mortgage brokers. And I want to encourage you on this. Only work with a mortgage broker who has done this before. If they've never originated this loan or this loan, don't even talk to them, because they're not going to be as helpful. And they'll try to sell you on the idea that, oh, it's just like every other loan, I'll figure it out, don't worry. You need to work with someone who's already originated this. And there are literally hundreds of thousands of mortgage brokers out there, and there are definitely plenty that have originated these loans. So that's who you would contact and ask them more about the details, and then you can share with them your financial situation, and they can tell you what's possible. All right, again, thanks so much for watching this video. And if you have questions and whatnot, just put them down here below, and I'll try to carve out time out of my schedule to help you with that. And if you're the type of person that really wants to be incredibly successful at this business, you want to go to a point where you're making $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 a year in real estate investing, then consider my apprentice program, where my team and I work with people one-on-one, and we turn them into first-class money-making machines. And at this point, we are the dominant force quietly in the real estate investing world. My apprentices that are scattered across North America are absolutely crushing it right now. It is the best time to be in this business in the past 40 years. I have a video on that subject as well. You should definitely watch that video, because now is the time to be in this business. Now is the time to be executing, because it doesn't get any better than this. This is high times. All right, thanks everybody. See you in the next video.